a lot of us feel a mixture of fear, embarrassment, and trepidation about putting our thoughts on the internet. And for good reason. We don't want to be embarrassed. We don't want to fail. We don't want to hear crickets. Making videos is deeply uncomfortable, and I want to share with you why I think you should be creating content too. In my case, this story starts a couple of months ago. I've been considering making content for a while. I quite enjoy learning new skills, and producing videos, writing blogs is a great example. That putting your thoughts and ideas out there is a way to attract opportunity. It's a way to make friends on the internet. But it's hard. A lot of us feel a mixture of fear, embarrassment, and trepidation about putting our thoughts on the internet. And for good reason. We don't want to be embarrassed. We don't want to fail. We don't want to hear crickets. But I'm going to explain why I think you should do it anyway. Now, in the world of technology, there's this idea which is called shipping. And shipping can refer to sending a physical product to a customer, releasing a new version of an application, but it can also refer to media, shipping a video, shipping an essay, shipping a tweet. And shipping really represents taking action. And for those of you that are wondering, I am not talking about this kind of shipping. It's about putting something out into the world. So it's sort of the impulse behind a lot of what we now call entrepreneurship. At the heart of that is releasing something. Now, I really want to get deeply comfortable with the idea of shipping because I have a core belief in life, which is that successful people have swung and missed more times than most people have swung at all. And what I mean by that is they've just taken lots of shots on goal. They've shipped a lot of ideas. Perhaps the first 999 don't go anywhere, and it's the 1000th that really breaks through. And you hear this time and time again from people that are making content, people that are trying to get startups off the ground, to create products. I experienced this myself. In my previous startup, it wasn't the first product that got traction. And I know many of you are thinking about creating content, thinking about putting stuff out there, because frankly, I get lots of DMs after each of these videos. But deep down, you feel nervous about it. Because the truth is that so long as you are thinking about it and not committing, you have the option to be successful, but you haven't actually tried, and therefore you haven't failed. And it's only when you really try and you start putting stuff out there and you really commit to it, do you open up the opportunity to actually fail. And I think that's what scares me, at least, and probably some of you as well. And where I am at the moment is I've made about 10 videos or so. To be honest, it would be really easy to just tap out now, just to stop and not to release anymore. Because the longer I go on, the longer I risk having to come face to face with the fact that people don't find these videos as useful as I hoped. So how do you get over that fear of shipping? I want to share with you a couple of things that personally have really helped me. These have come through stuff that I've read, stuff that I've watched, other creators that are supporting me on the path. The first one is about really committing to going long on the idea of producing content or shipping, whatever it is that you're working on. When I say going long, what I mean is do not give up until you've tried at least 50 or some arbitrary number of iterations of essays, because in the early days, anything that's exponential in nature that grows, say, X percentage per week, when the numbers are small, the absolute returns are tiny. So if you have 10 subscribers, for example, and you grow at 10% per week, it takes a whole week to get your next subscriber. If you have 1,000 subscribers, well, now you're growing by 100 a week, and you have 10,000, you're growing by 1,000 a week, and you can see how these things can really accelerate. So just commit to putting the reps in. It will feel like you're in the early innings for a very long time, and that's absolutely normal. If you need friends around you to remind you, get those people. The second, in my case, which is really important to me, is recognizing that the journey itself is really valuable. In the journey, you're learning, you're developing, you're investing in yourself, and that's not a waste of time, even if the outcome is not as successful as you hoped. No, I haven't bought myself a Lamborghini yet, in case you're asking. And why do I say that the journey is important? Well, at the heart of content creation is a bias to action. So earlier today, I was sort of thinking, should I put another video out? I'm not sure what I'm going to put one out on. But going through this process is kind of forcing myself to take action. And that's where I think the gains come, especially in the early days. So don't look at the numbers, don't look at the metrics, just take the action, put the content out there, and you'll benefit irrespective. And the final one I would say is just surround yourself with some friends that are on the journey as well. It really helps to get feedback, to get support, to see near peers that might be maybe 3, 6, 9 months ahead of you. So they're taking the steps that you're about to face. That just gives you a sense of what's coming next. And if you're somebody who's looking to get feedback on something you're working on, drop it below. Personally, I would love to take a look. I'll give you some feedback. I'll share my thoughts. I'll encourage you. So please take the time to do that. And so now that I've been doing this for about 6 weeks, I want to look back on the experience so far, and I can tell you for certain, I definitely feel much less trepidation around hitting that publish button, about uploading videos and even distributing them. A lot of content creators feel really embarrassed sharing their videos on social media. but that's something that I've just got comfortable doing. And in particular, recently I shared a video on asymmetric bets. I really recommend that you take a look at that one because it talks about the potential upside of creating content, of doing things that feel entrepreneurial, and hopefully helps to make a case why you should consider doing that as well. So if there's something out there that you're considering doing at the moment, that's an investment in yourself, that's creating opportunity for you, and you're feeling a bit nervous, you're feeling a bit scared, go for it, go long, recognize that the process itself is valuable, and find some people that can support you. If that person can be me, it would be a privilege. I would love to help.